Welcome. I'm Rob, and this is Rob's Path. Today, we're going to take a look at our castings that we harvested from bin 1 about 2 weeks ago now. And now we're going to set it up for a bait trap after they've eaten down a fair amount of whatever was left in there. Alright, now because we do want it to dry down just a little bit, we are not going to put the plastic back over it. We're going to leave it just as it is. And we'll be back in about 10 days or so. Today, we're going to take a look at our bait trap that we had in our castings that we're going to be sifting out here. And we took from our bin 1 about 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks ago. So let's remove our paper and see if our trap worked. Alrighty. Pretty sure I saw a little tail. Well, I'm guessing we've got some worms in there. Well, I see them. Let me get another glove. We definitely got some worms. Some squiggly wigglies. Yeah, we got, looks like a nice handful of youngins. Alright, so we're going to move them. We're going to go ahead and put them into a bin. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put them into this new container. See if I can get you a better shot of that one. I'm going to put them in this new container for a while. Maybe seeing the birth of a new worm bin. Not really sure. Haven't made up my mind. I don't know. It's kind of sounding like I might go that way. Some of the boys and girls left over. Take those all out. We'll make sure nobody gets left behind. We're like the Marines around here. Nobody gets left behind. One thing I'll tell you what I'm really liking that I'm seeing is that there seems to be an awful lot of youngins in this sample. These castings that I took out seem to have a lot of youngins in it. So that tells me that is a very active bin. I'm seeing tiny wisps and some a couple a little bit older. Didn't run across anything else yet. Alright, so we made a little wedge system in there. And we're just gonna give it a little paper on top. And take our piece that we took off what they were in and put it back in there. Alright, and we're gonna let them be for a while. Like I said, that might become a new, that might be the start of a new bin. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see. Kind of leaning that way though. I like all the youngins. Alright, now we know we got a bunch out of here. We probably got more in here. I don't really know. what we're going to do with this is just mix it up a little bit here. Let's see just how wet it is. A little squeeze. It's still a little wet. Okay. Okay. I'm not running across any worms though. So, now it's not to say that there is all gone. What it does say is we got a good fair share of them. So, now what we're going to do, we're going to move this into a bigger container to dry in. We'll be right back. Okay, this is our drying bed, a little bit longer, a little bit bigger. We're just going to take all of our castings and dump them in here. As you see, as you can see, it's quite a bit deeper and quite a bit longer, wider. Not deeper, sorry. Yeah, a little bit deeper. Alright, so we're going to dump all those into there. Oh, I am seeing some worms in here, so there's some buggers that weren't very happy, weren't very hungry. That's alright, we're going to get them. Going to clean out our other bin here, so we can get as much of our castings as we can. That black gold is precious stuff. But not only that, we want to get all the little buggers that are still in there out. And we're pretty clean. Not seeing any lingering buggers in there. As I said, this is going to be our final dry down bed. We're going to spread and break up these castings as we go, and we're going to move them around. We're going to let them dry, and then we're going to sift them out at some point once they get to the proper consistency. So, yeah, we still do have quite a few worms in here, which is perfectly fine. But what that does though is tells me, you know, I think I want to, I think that's going to be a new permanent bin. Alright, I definitely think we're starting a new bin with that one, guys. And I'm going to let these dry out really good before we sift them. And we'll check on them and every few couple days or so, and then see how we are doing. Alright, so for now, we got a big thing of castings. I think we're going to beat our record. I think we're going to have more than 2 pound, 2 point whatever pounds we had last time, which is good. Alright, we'll talk to you next time. Okay, it's now time to get the money. We're going to start and we're going to do our final sift. We're going to separate our worms and our castings and see what we've got. Alright, that's our 1/8 screening done. Now all this will go back into our other bin that we just are getting ready to start. Our number 3 bin's getting an upgrade. so we'll be going that way. Alrighty. So, we'll just dump this in here. Now we're going, or 1/4. That's our 1/4 done. 1/4 done. This stuff will go back in with our number 3 bend, which is getting an upgrade. And now we'll do the 1/8. Okay, what we're not seeing is any worms, which I know last time I moved this I definitely had worms in here. So where they are, I don't know. Gonna guess they crawled down into, because I just moved them into this smaller one yesterday. Set it up on top of my number 1 bend, so I'm guessing any of the big ones might have decided to crawl back in there. But we're going to go through all these castings before we get them to their final destination. To make sure we don't have anybody left out in the cold. Alright, and there's our finished castings. Absolutely beautiful castings by my standards. Anyway. Nice aerated castings. Now, we're going to weigh these. And then we'll have our other 2, and then we're gonna go looking for worms. Okay, I'm not sure how much you're gonna see here, but let's see what happens. Last time we got a little over 2 pounds, I believe it was. 2.2 something. We're hoping to beat that. And if not, it's not a race. And there's going to be more tomorrow. So we've got 36.45 ounces, which goes into 2 ounces, 2 pounds, 4.5 ounces. Very nice. Very, very nice. Look at these lovely castings. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous castings. All right. So now the next step is we take them in, we clean them all out, make sure there's no worms in them, and everything goes to its final resting place. We'll be back with more. My intent was to show you me separating, going through castings and all that, to find any escaped worms, and then show you to then be putting them into my bucket where I keep things. But life happened and that didn't happen, so we'll just give you a little list footage and go from there. We ended up with 2 pounds 4.5 ounces total. Very nice. I'm very happy with that. And that will be the end of this one.
Thanks for stopping by. Remember, no matter what happens, life is all about time and pushing forward. So if you take things one day at a time, you can't help but win. Till next time, this is Rob.